everybody. Good morning. So good to be with you here today. And our topic today is leaning into your humanness. Yes. So, if you're a coach or you're an expert and you have an expert based business, I'm here to tell you that now is the time for you to really lean in to being human. I know there's a lot going on in the world about AI and automation and a lot of really great things that can enhance our productivity in our businesses. And I think all of that is great. Also, have been having some interesting conversations around using AI in our businesses as coaches and experts. And I can just tell you my experience, my personal experience from being a business coach, a spiritual business coach, and from helping hundreds of people launch and scale their businesses, and really what the temperature is right now in my business. So I'm just one person saying a thing. You don't have to believe anything I'm saying right now. You need to feel into it for yourself and decide what's the best course of action for you. But I can tell you that in my line of work, I think if you go to my website, I have literally hundreds of testimonials, very heartfelt testimonials from clients who received a service from me or from my company. And that is great. But if you want to really understand, I guess, the service that I'm delivering and what you as a coach or a therapist, TEDx speaker, author, expert, what you are delivering, and I'm going to get to the point here in a second, what we're delivering is the empathy and the compassion and the ability to connect. And you can't do that with AI. I've tried. I use AI a lot in my business, but there's this sense of missingness that comes across if it's not you. And if I go back, and I had this revelation when I was watching some of my testimonials, and I do that sometimes, is that there's this true sense of feeling heard and feeling connected, like somebody really has got you. And I think that's what this coaching business is really about. So I don't want us to get off track as experts, as coaches, as therapists, because that's really the thing that we need to lean into, is this humanness and this human part of what we do. So if you're in the people helping business, this is what we need to lean into. So it's easy to chase a shiny object and say, oh, well, I need to use AI in my business, or I need to, or I'm going to get replaced. And what does this mean for me? I can just tell you by looking at my own business and the relationships that I have with my clients, that this is what people are paying for. Yes, they're paying for a product, a service, your wisdom, your knowledge, but they are paying for the human connection. And I don't think that this is going to go away. So that's what this topic is about today, leaning into your humanness and leaning into all that it means to be human, because I really think that's the differentiating factor. I think that's what is going to make your business sing. If we start to use AI in our business, and I've tried a lot of different things, and I do use AI in my business, but it's not typically for front-facing client things. It's for automation. And I've always had a lot of automation in my business. I have a very small team of people, and I have really great processes put into place, and that's called automation. Marketing automation has been around for a really long time. And AI can really help enhance some of that automation. So maybe AI is a really great use for keystrokes that are repetitive, that you're repeating and doing in your business, that you don't need to be doing, that don't require your expertise. AI is a really good replacement for that. I've seen people try to use AI in sort of front-facing client interactions. And it doesn't land right now with where AI is at, it's not quite landing. And so let's talk about that. What do I mean by that? Um, sure you know this, that you can create courses by getting a replica of your face and then feeding it a transcript, and then your face or your voice will be the course. So you can create digital courses that way. And they look pretty realistic, but there's some element, if you watch some people that have created courses with their AI version of themselves, there's some element that's missing, and it has this sense of missingness. And I think that, I guess some clients may find it acceptable and maybe even kind of like, oh, well, that's kind of neat. But I think that people may get a little bored with that because people don't want to interact with the computer version of you. They just don't. People want to interact with the real person. They want real human interaction because a human can cultivate empathy and can feel them and see them and interact. And there's facial movement there. On some of these AI versions of courses, it's believable, but then there's not a lot of emotion and reaction. And if you watch it long enough, it actually becomes creepy. And so we don't want to be there, right? We want to lean into the messiness of all that it means to be human, because that's what we're doing here, where it's people helping people. So if you're in the business of helping people, I think that it's okay to use AI to support some of this back end part of your marketing automation and et cetera. And I can show you and teach you how to do that. I can show you where I have that in my business. But I don't think you should do it front facing. And this is just my opinion. So you get to decide if that works for you. And on this course creation concept as well, I've seen people actually hire actors to deliver the messaging for them as well. And I also don't think that's going to work. Because if you're the expert and you're the coach, you're the person that's giving the advice, they just want it from the expert. They don't want it from somebody who's reading a script. And I could go on about how I can tell you're reading your scripts. I don't have a script right now and I'm not reading it, but I am connecting with you and I know that you feel that. And so there's something really valuable to be had for delivering a presentation with heartfelt emotion. I believe that that's where the juice is, okay? The other thing that I've seen, I've had many people approach me with AI versions of coaching. I had someone approach me who wanted me to white label their spiritual coaching, but it was AI. And I'm like, well, first of all, tell me how this is different than ChatGPT, because I can go to ChatGPT right now and get spiritual coaching advice. And there's no difference right now. The technology wasn't better. But are people really going to resonate with trying to connect with a computer and not having that emotional human connection? You get to decide for yourself how you feel about this. I know for me, that's that sense of missingness that I feel like there's a piece of the human to human connection where there's a soul connection, right? And when I'm in conversation with somebody, I feel them and I see myself deeply because I can see them and feel them, and because we're all connected, right? I can't have that same experience if there's no soul there. So something to keep in mind. I think it's okay to use AI on the back end for things like marketing automations to make us better and faster. I think that's cool. I would caution using it as front-facing interactions with your clients, because I don't think it's going to land well, and I don't think that's sustainable long-term. And so my third point is, remember COVID, when we were all inside, right? And we felt really isolated and we were unable to interact with other people around us. I'm just wondering if soon we're just going to have talking to computer, and somehow the humans, we're going to be feeling left out of it. If I'm using automation to connect with you over LinkedIn or connect with you over Facebook, and then you're using automation to respond to me, where does that leave us? And so I think this brings us full circle back into, I think, fully leaning into being human in this coaching and expert space is really what's going to differentiate you, because all the others are it's going to fall a little bit flat. It's not going to land. Again, this is my opinion. You don't have to believe anything I'm saying. I've worked with hundreds of people, coaches, experts. I've received thousands of heartfelt, really emotional testimonials from people. And I believe that I've put myself in this position to build a really strong business because of that emotion and that empathy and that compassion, and that I want to help people and I want to be there for my clients. And that can really be felt. So if you're using AI in your business, and that's great, you do you, then maybe consider, how can you stay connected with your client base? How can you be there to support them? How can they feel you? Because I think we're about to head into a season where people are really going to want to be felt, and they're going to want to be heard, and they're going to want to be seen. So how can you do that? So just some thoughts for today. Just doesn't have to be a yes or no, use AI or don't use AI in your business. It's just some things that I'm experiencing and some things that I'm reflecting on and thinking about in the world today. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful day today. I'm sending you lots of love, joy, peace, and prosperity, and I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.